Yeah, decent, really good. As you just rightly said, I can't believe the month has flown by this quick. Safe to say, I am due for a haircut. It's getting a bit crazy now. I think I'm going to have to let Corey, my fiance, have a do with the Clippers tonight, and just see how it turns out. So next Friday, guys, if I've got nothing left, I am sorry. But yeah, overall, well, yeah, thank you.
I think you'll be the one that'll be sorry if you've nothing left.
Yeah.
If you're not for that. How are we? Yeah, the month's gone flying by. Not quick enough in terms of homeschool. As you just caught a glimpse of it now. So we're multitasking, doing homeschooling and working from home and so forth. But yeah, it's gone extremely quick. I think since all this lockdown and started, even the first one, I think time's gone really, really quick. I think we can all say that, working from home. But yeah, life still goes on. And happy haircuts, Matt. Well, it's a bit of a difficult one, really, because I can nearly get it in. I can never get it in a ponytail now, and I've always had this problem. No, the only reason why I can't be bothered doing my hair. To be honest, I fed up using gel, and if I grow it, I just goes white basically. So I've never bothered with it anymore. But it is difficult for you people out there. I mean, women obviously find it harder, don't they? Because they get their hair cut every 2 weeks at about £60 a time. Don't write in, by the way, on that comment. But yeah. I mean, they must be saving money, but on another note, those businesses are obviously losing a lot of money as well. So, yeah, the sooner everything gets back to normal, the better. No, that's still going.
I'll go first if you like. I saw how.
I was nodding at you.
Don't get wrong. This week for me has been okay. Valuations wise, I know there's a lot of viewings gone in. Valuations. Don't get me wrong. We could do with some more. However, I think for me, it's more the hesitation on things that you can see visibly with people. People are 100% curious about what's going on. Where's my house? Do I wait to sell? Do I do this? Do I do that? What do I do to my property to make it more valuable? Do I wait to the spring? It's a question as an agent that, in all honesty, we say, you're best off putting your house on the market now, just simply because, as we said in the other videos, nothing like, no time like the present. But you can't persuade people. I understand that people want to try and get this lockdown out of the way and go from there, really. As we've seen, offers are coming in on new properties. We've sold quite a few this week, so things are, they are still selling. It's just we want obviously more of those properties as an estate agent. But it's instilling that confidence in people. But obviously there's a lot going on at the moment in regards to other things, bar houses. So I can understand why there is a delay on some things. But be assured, those that are coming on in our area, Morecambe and Lancaster, they're selling.
Yeah, I think so. I think looking at it as a bigger picture, not as an estate agent, looking at it, I think people put their houses on the market if they need to move or if they need to sell a house. I think if people are and ahhing whether to sell a house, I think that's where people are maybe delaying, thinking what's going to happen. Well, there's nothing. To be honest with you, in this market, there's nothing happening with the market. I think the market is just carrying on. In effect, we're busier than ever in terms of incoming calls. People wanting to go viewing things. So I don't think people need to hold off. The market is available. We can do viewings. Houses are selling, and they are selling hand over fist in terms of. Kevin, you show us later all the figures that you've got that are coming onto the market. But maybe it's just a confidence thing, or maybe people are just scared of not moving house, but just scared of things in general, of maybe job wise and where things are going to be. And that's obviously got to have a massive impact on it. But yeah, it's open, we're operating. I think the only difference between this lockdown and the last lockdown is there's more cars on the road. I actually don't notice any difference. People are queuing to get in shops. People are are wearing masks. But apart from that, I don't think it's a massive difference that first lockdown. So life has gone on. I think. Do you not think it's just like it's it's unbelievable how many cars on there. That first time, it was notable when you went out in your car on appointments that we did, or you went out for a walk, whatever. The lack of vehicles. I actually don't see any difference now between a normal life, and I think if the majority of us are like that anyway, let's do the same with the housing market. If you want to move, you're thinking of moving, get it on the market, get us out, and at least have some advice. Get your estate agent out and get some advice on what to do. I think it's probably the best move forward. Mm. Yeah. No. Mm. Yeah, I think it's been I tell you what, Kev, Matt. I tell you what, it's been a better January than what I would have anticipated. In early December, Christmas time, the first week in January, I thought it was going to be really, really quiet, especially after that New Year's Eve party, the lockdown. But I've been pleasantly impressed with how January's been. I genuinely have, and I think you both feel the same, aren't you? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. But January is notoriously a long month. Everyone doesn't like January, because it's a long time to your next paycheck, if you will. It's a long time. Those people who think, well, I'm not drinking from January the 1st to January 31st, literally, they're begging for that to happen. So, but this month has, seriously, it has just, well, the flow, I tell you what I find as well on this, it's not just the month's flow. I find time in general, the days fly by. You can be working. You think, what day is it? You're working along. What day is it tomorrow? When I'm working from home, when I'm not out on appointments, I've got a fresh fish guy that comes past my house, and that's how I know it's Wednesday. If he didn't turn up, I wouldn't know what bloody day it was. Seriously, it just goes so quick. Honestly, I don't know if you've got anything similar to that, but
I definitely don't have a fresh fish guy who comes down my cul-de-sac.
Start tongues wagging. Mm. 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 Yeah, I do. I think they should look at alternate. If only, I think I said the other way. If only because to take into account the amount of people that have put the house on the market, put offers in on the strength of trying to get things through. Of course, this coronavirus impact is meaning that a lot of solicitors are working from home. A lot of solicitors are working part time, and they're lesser hours, but the transactions have gone up probably tenfold. So those people, I think, will get to a point where they think, well, actually, we did it in our normal circumstances. i.e. no lockdown, i.e. no Christmas, the house sale would have gone through. But I think there'll be too many transactions going through for them to say, I'll tell you what, let's make, even if it's only 4 to 6 weeks, or they might say, we'll give you an 8 weeks allowance to get things through. Or it might be a case that they look at where you were up to in that transaction, what position are you in, and maybe stage how they do it. I don't know. I do think they'll implement something, because if not, there'll be a lot of house sales falling through, and it'll cost a lot of people a lot of money. And if in turn that will end up being bad for the economy for the UK. Go on, mate. What are you saying? Yeah. Yeah. Take advantage of it. Yeah. 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 Mm. Well, that's what I mean. I think they'll end up staging it, or whether it's like that or whatever, or they have I think they might have a different. I don't know, but whatever they've got to do, they've got to change it and then draw a line in the sand, if you will, because if not, it will keep changing. I mean, that is an obvious problem. But the only thing is with the exchange, I still think it's still going to be quite difficult because to get to the point of exchange, everyone's got to be really, really happy, really, because at that point, obviously, we know you put down the deposit with the other solicitor, and it's non-refundable deposit. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Like you said, they've signed that petition, which means that they can then open it up in Parliament and start talking about it. So yeah, let's see what happens on that respect. I can tell you on another little thing that I was reading before about Kevin. You probably know about it anyway. Like the change. What we're looking at is changing the tenancy agreement for a tenant. Well, going into a rental property, whereas beforehand you could say, for example, someone was applying for a property and they could say, do you take pets? Well, we'll just look at, well, landlords stipulated, I'm very sorry, we don't accept pets. Now, apparently, on this new agreement that they're proposing is that, I was just talking to a landlord, actually, and he was saying it's always in favour of the tenant. Basically, they can apply by writing to take a property, but to say, I have a pet, okay? And the landlord can't turn around and say, I'm very sorry, I don't take pets. What he can do is he can reply in writing within 28 days with a jolly good reason. I like that thing, a jolly good reason as to why. For example, your Doberman's a bit big for the second floor or top floor flat, or something like that. Or the terrace house isn't big enough for all the cats you've got. So he's got to put it into writing, and that's within 28 days. So I don't know what impact that might have going forward. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, like a bond. Yeah. I believe so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, you'd like to think it. Well, I was going to say you'd like to think every tenant would respect the property, and I'm sure that the vast majority of tenants do. Here's a question for you, and this is according to the facts I was reading today. It says currently there's just over a percentage of private landlords advertise pet-friendly properties. If you were guessing what that percentage would be, so what percentage of private landlords advertise pet-friendly properties. So they're saying, yeah, we'll accept a pet. What
4%.
percentage would you say? What do you say, Matt?
4%.
Go on, what about you, Kev? No idea what happened. Yeah. What happened then? But it was bizarre. What did you say anyway? Yeah. Well, I thought you both would have said a lot higher. It's actually 7% according to this. So, but that was there you go. 4 or 5%. Well, good guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Was, and I'm not going to be biased here and say that we're absolutely perfect, because obviously in any modest world nobody's perfect. You can be quite close to it, but nobody's perfect. However, obviously, I'm wrong, because we do the viewings. We also speak to people who with other estate agents as well, and of course, we're estate agents. We're going to ask a question without sounding too pushy. We're going to say, "How are you getting on with your current estate?" But who've often kind of panic bought, if that makes sense, into an estate agent and felt pressure. One, you should never feel like you're under pressure when speaking to an estate agent. Please remember that, guys, if you're watching, because there are some out there who will get you to sign there and then and say, I can sell your house tomorrow and we should put it on at this. And your brain's thinking, well, I was actually thinking a lot less than that, but Fee says you can get that. If something sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And then all of a sudden you've signed a contract, you've got to pay. If you want to leave that contract, you all of a sudden are involved in a marketing package that's costing you £200, even if you take it off. You've sent a check off to some solicitors or an EPC assessor, and it turns out that another agent can do X, Y, Z if you just spoke to them. Now, I'm not saying don't go with the first estate agent that walks through your door, because that happens with us. We can walk in, everything sounds great, and you believe us and you trust us. Fantastic. But please read between the lines, and also work out your pros and cons. What is important to you? What is important to you? You could be a person that goes, right, well, we need to get as much as we can for this to buy that 4-bed detached dream home. Well, obviously, you need to choose the agent that statistically averages the highest prices in your area. And how do they do that? Get them to explain their unique selling point. Don't let them just come in and go, well, I sell the most in this area and get the best prices. Can you prove that? And can you explain how you do that? And also, another common factor of what I hear other estate agents say, well, I've got the most for sale in this area. Why is that important to you as a client? To me, that it also shows actually they can divert their time to me as a client and give me more specialist care. And I think it's also working out, for example, yours could be communication. Ask that estate agent, say, well, do you communicate and can you prove? Do you give me a mobile number? Do you speak to me all the time? Do you keep me informed about what's going on? Please ask the question. Put that estate agent on the spot. Don't let them be in the driving seat. And really establish what is important to you. I mean, I don't want to gab on for ages because I know we're on a time limit here, but I do see so many people who just think, oh, I'll just go with them because they're the first. Listen to that estate agent. Honestly, this sounds bizarre, but forget about fees. Forget about fees and just listen to what you are getting for that fee. Because cheapest isn't always best. Most expensive isn't always best. And it's a case of, if they're the most expensive, then what are they doing to be the most expensive? And can they prove why they should be the most expensive? If somebody's the cheapest, it sounds to me like they're the cheapest for a reason. Are they cheap just because they need loads of stock on and that cheap fee is going to attract you and they don't care what kind of level of service you get? I mean, 6 weeks down the line, you could have sold with this cheap estate agent. You could be ripping your hair out because you don't know what's going on. You don't know where your viewing feedback is. You don't even know if you've got a viewing and you never hear from that person again. You've got to assess what is important to you. And if that is important to you, then you should pay for that. It'd be like, for example, say your car needed an MOT, right? And the MOT, it flags up that you need a new, I don't know, I'm not great with cars, but an exhaust or something. And if you don't get this exhaust, it's going to break down. I don't know. But the exhaust from, Volkswagen, say you've got a Volkswagen, is 300 quid. But from your garage around the corner, Dodgy Dave or
30.
something is charging you 30 quid. Is it 30 quid for a reason? Is it too good to be true? Are you going to go and pay your 30 quid and go back and then go, it's still not past its MOT? Whereas if you'd gone with a more expensive one in the first place, you might have done a better job and give you warranty. Sorry, that's a bit of a kind of a different story, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about your needs. Given your needs, is that estate agent going to fulfill what you need from them?
I think so. Yeah. Write down what you want, what you're getting out
Sorry,
of it,
I
value
go a
for
bit like
money.
a sergeant major me when I start speaking. I start doing that at the camera. So I am sorry. I assure you, if I ever come and value your house, I don't do that in person. I'm a bit more of a laughable character in person.
Yeah. It, equally so, Kev and Matt was saying that as well. That equally so, that as well is the valuation, because any clown can come into a house and tell you it's worth X, Y, and Z, and price up there. But we'll only charge that amount. Yeah, we all advertising right now. We all do the same. Yeah, I don't understand why that station charges more or whatever. Yeah, don't be blown over with that. Yeah, have your own wish list. Have your own checklist. Do they match the demands that you need? Whether it's your car, you're going to get service. Like you say, you don't take it around a car. Where do you go shopping? Do you always shop at the bargain shops? Maybe occasionally, but not all the time. You shop at a certain place for a particular reason. And the housing is your biggest asset. So, yeah, so rather than just go for the best price and the cheapest fee, look at everything. Take that to one side, because you can always discuss what price you put on the property afterwards. And I always actually say that. I say, I'll give you a rough idea, but where we put it on the market, we'll discuss it and we'll put a marketing plan together. I'm sure the good estate agents out there will do exactly the same. The fee, it relates to what you get. And the majority of estate agents, you pay once it's sold, so don't fall into trap. You alluding to, Matt, there, you're paying the money if you take it off the market or money up front. So, just bear that in mind. A percentage is of nothing if it doesn't sell. That's it. Okay, but yeah, good point to raise though, Matt. Good point to raise.
I only raise good points.
That's it. January.
Yeah, can see.
I'll take a look. You can see me now, can you? I can see. Do you know what I should do? I should put it on the computer.
No, not at all. Not at all. I knew valuations were down and properties coming to the market, and I knew the sales would be up because, like I said at the start of the video, ours are rocketing up. You know, we're busy. We're getting loads of offers. We just need more stock.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's a similar trend, to be fair, there, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So that's write that onto there. That's it. Mm.
It's there. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just really kind of highlights what we really be discussing. And I mean, I mentioned before about the areas, but they are very, very similar in terms of what's happening. You know, and I said to you guys before, just before we came online, I've noticed in my area that there's the houses are selling are really phenomenal, but the houses coming on the market, you know, there's not as much like confidence or whatever it is. It's maybe the need. I think I'm back to what I said before. I think it's the need to put your house on the market. I think that might be people are just thinking then not doing it because there's no need at the minute, you know. So, but everyone's on the market. I mean, you know, we've just a vendor of ours. I've just helped him get an offer accepted on a property today, not a million miles away from where I am. To be perfectly honest with you, and yeah, and he's getting the same report from the estate agent he's talking to there that there's two or three people after one particular house. And I'd say I've got a couple of second viewings in at the weekend on Sunday, which is fantastic. Just need more stock to satisfy the viewers out there. Okay. Hold your breath on that. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're finding that on rentals, aren't you? I think looking on the outside, you're finding that on rentals. I think there's on the rental market, there's hardly anything coming available, and because of this lockdown and so forth, people aren't leaving, are they? Aren't leaving their own properties. At turnover. Yeah, yeah. Turning over. Yeah, no. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, about 33 people. I mean, that's what it is. We had 25 initially over the first evening, and before we'd opened the doors at 9 o'clock, shall we say, in the morning, there was a further 8. So yeah, the 33 people for one property, which was phenomenal. If I could, just a pity I couldn't read Polish, because I'm going to start learning how to read Polish and talk Polish thing, because I think I'd have had a few more inquiries. But it's just phenomenal, that though, isn't it? I've never known that much demand within the space of 12 hours, let's say, if you include the whole evening. It's amazing. Yeah, 11 months to go.
Cheerio, folks.
Adios. Bye.